and actually we have it on our website. It's a free download to adjust people. If they listen to the energy of the transmission, it adjusts the body so the body can flow and make adjustments as these dimensional shifts take place.
Wow. Just so the listeners know, what is your website? We'll get to that again at the end, but just so they can check it out while we're talking.
Sure, it's www.frequenciesofbrilliance, that's just one word, frequenciesofbrilliance.org.
Wonderful. So now, they did mention that the earthquakes are part of this, so this is kind of unfolding. It seems that it's been taking forever, but I suppose once it happens, yes, it'll seem like a twinkling of an eye, right?
Well, yes, just understand, if you look at it this way, every time there's an earthquake, it's like the smallest crack, the earth shifts very slightly, and there's a new dimensional energy coming onto the earth plane and anchoring.
Wow.
And it's not the third dimensional energy that we live in. It's a fourth dimensional energy that starts changing the consciousness of the human being so that we are moving out of fear and struggle and beginning to open to and align to dimensional aspects of our light.
Well, it seems like that's going to be quite a major shift for people to change over from fear consciousness, which seems to be broadcast all over the planet, and to one in which we actually start to awaken.
Exactly, and it's exciting, really. And the Pleiadians said it's important that we're not afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. Excuse me. That we are going to... got a cough, excuse
me. Bless you. I'll take a sip of water for you.
Oh, yeah, I've got a water here. Let me just take a sip. That we are actually going to naturally align the earth is birthing, and we are going to birth with that.
Now, when you say we, does that mean those people who have chosen to awaken or who do awaken, or the whole planet, or those who are remaining on the planet, or what about all the people who we would consider to be not good people?
Well, the Pleiadians put it this way, that we're all going to go through a big change. We're all stepping forward. Some will stay on the planet and take their next step, and some will exit the planet and take their next step.
Okay.
There's no such thing as death. There's just, it's just the next step for all of us.
Right.
And so they don't, there is no death. That's another illusion of our third dimension. So that there will be those who are not ready to shift with consciousness will leave the planet. Sorry.
It's quite all right.
So there will be a flow. There's going to be a birthing of the earth. There's going to be a birthing of us, and we will move and go into this new dawning, so to speak. And these earth changes are going to continue. And each time there's that shift, the dimensional shift will take place a little more. So the Pleiadians are anchoring a lot of energetic grid lines on the earth right now, supporting us in our transformation. What they have anchored is the self-healing prophecy energy, and it started in January 2009. And it's to assist us in being able to awaken more easily and give us a grace period for us to be able to align with these dimensional changes.
I'm kind of guessing that this is all going to take place probably from now, the window being from now to maybe sometime around 2012, 2013-ish?
Yeah, they are going to be anchoring the self-healing prophecy energy until the end of 2012.
Okay.
That's their timeline on this energy being utilized. And by then, and that is the energy of the self-healing prophecy awakens us to becoming conscious of the spiritual realms and working with the spiritual realms. It also opens our hearts to be able to connect to each other and start opening up to a more of a an alignment that we are part of something, and allowing people to open their consciousness that they're not alone. So it actually it just brings that consciousness, that awakening state, and allows it to open on a different level.
Well, that's wonderful news. I mean, given the level of corruption and greed that we see taking place around us, I guess that's just part of the old paradigms crumbling.
Well, it is, and it's going to accelerate. You see, the actual dimensional shifts on some level is going to have everything kind of shaking. So it's going to, in some ways, it'll look like the chaos is going to increase, and the corruption is going to be even more expanded. And we have this economic crisis in the world, and in America right now, and that's just for everybody to start. It's really a shake-up for people to start moving in a different direction and reaching for something different than the ego mind. Connection. So it's getting people to pay attention and say, I need something in my life. And that's why the book that the Pleiadians have channeled through, the Pleiadian Initiations of Light, it's at a very important time for people to be able to utilize that and start opening up and transforming, because it's designed to have come out now to assist in this change that's here.
Now, many people are going to have to go through quite a rapid evolutionary process if they're just now starting to awaken to their own inner selves and their inner child. It took you quite a long time of processing with therapy and the rest of it to really heal yourself, didn't it?
It did, but you know what? It's the old story of the person who breaks through the path does a lot more work, and things move much quicker after that, because the path's already been forged. Right. And this is really important. You know, the Pleiadians' biggest message, Lance, to us is that as a human being, we are perfectly imperfect. That we have come here to make mistakes, to learn, in order to learn. And one of the biggest illusions on this earth plane is we've been told this lie that somehow we're supposed to be perfect, and many of us here are striving for this perfection. And the fact is, the Pleiadians are saying, they honor our humanness, and we need to come back to a place of honoring ourselves as human beings.
Oh yes, boy.
And it's such an important thing, because the other lie is, you have to become perfect in order to come into your self-realization process to align with your light. And that is also a lie. The Pleiadians are saying that we need to turn back and honor our humanness and hold ourselves with love and compassion for our journeys, because it's incredible courage that we have as human beings journeying now on this earth plane. And all we need to do is hold ourselves with that love and compassion, and to forgive ourselves for all the things we should have done or didn't say or did say, and just take ourselves kind of off the cross. It's like we've put ourselves up on a cross, and we're being asked to really resurrect ourselves and take ourselves off the cross, and that is enough, just holding ourselves with that love and understanding and patience, because we are going to make mistakes. It's how we learn here on this planet. But it's the difference between learning from the mistakes and moving forward, instead of self-condemnation for everything we should have done in our lives or didn't do, or we all have a story, all the things, all the mistakes, and we have to set ourselves free in this way. So their biggest message right now for everyone out there is you can move very quickly just by letting go and just holding yourself and just, letting your story. I mean, the stories are magnificent. Some of us have lived so many different stories. And just honoring our uniqueness as human beings and just letting go and giving ourselves a break. And that's what the Pleiadians are saying. They're holding us with love. Spiritual energies are holding us with love. But we have to ultimately hold ourselves with that love.
Right. Well, that certainly resonates with me 100%. There's no question about it. You had an interesting, I remember in the book, there was a visual that you supplied about hanging from a tree branch and letting go and going into the river. Do you remember that?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, that was quite a beautiful little analogy, just kind of floating in the river and relaxing into it. And
well, the biggest thing there, Lance, just let me say it, because I think people who are listening would really, the visual is very powerful.
Yeah.
And it's about, the Pleiadians talk about the letting go energy, and in the book they have channeled CDs where they start to transmit this letting go energy to help the human being begin to let go of all that they're holding on to. And so they give a visual of holding onto a branch of a tree, and below is this river, and this river has got a very soft current going through it. And the only thing you need to do to let go is just open the fingers. And when you do, it's that simple. Letting go is just opening the fingers, and you let go of the branch and fall into this river. And it's like a river of light, your own river of light that has a current that just carries you. And that's what we're being asked to do right now in our lives, is to let go of the struggle and the tiredness, let go of the branch, just open the fingers and fall into this beautiful, soft-flowing river and allow yourselves to be held and carried, not fighting upstream, fighting against the current. And many of us are doing that right now because we don't understand life. And we're trying to make sense of it from our minds, our ego minds, and we can only make sense of it through the heart, because it's through the heart that we connect to the higher self. So that's where we need to start changing our direction. And for everyone out there who's listening right now, this change that's coming, it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you've been on the spiritual path for a long time. All you're being asked to do is to start moving and bringing your consciousness down into your heart so that you can begin to align to an aspect of yourself. And that's enough to be able to align with these dimensional changes that are coming. You don't have to be perfect at it. Remember, we're human beings. We're going to make mistakes. Some days you'll do it better than others. And when you make a mistake, you just laugh and go, oh, there's another mistake. Oh, and here I am, perfectly imperfect. I'm a human being, and I have permission to make mistakes because so many of us try so hard to be perfect.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it's exhausting, isn't it, when you're hanging on and trying to do it right all the time and,
it is. And so many voices battering us from one side to another in this polarized world of, this is right and this is wrong, and then everything's a fight, fight cancer, fight this, fight terrorists.
And everything is building fear.
Yes.
It's all to build the fear, to keep you in control and controlled and disempowered. And you know what I learned the most, Lance, when I was dying, was that I decided I was going to move from death back into living. And that has been my commitment every day, is to honor my path, to let the guidance come in and to move from death into life. And my journey has been really incredible. I've been symptom-free for 24 years.
Wow.
And not only symptom-free from lupus, but very rarely do I get sick. And if I do, it's because I haven't felt something that is inside of me, but it's a beautiful journey. And I think it's exciting now because the time is changing and we're all ready for that.
Yeah. Now, when you mentioned your near-death experience, that was a really powerful part of your book, and I think it would be worthwhile to share that with the listeners. What happened when you left your body and what you were told and who you met and so on and so forth. If you wish to share it,
I'd be very happy to, Lance. I'm happy to share anything you like. You can ask me any question because I really find that my story helps a lot of people. Helps a lot of people connect, and